Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Bitcoin is running into this final critical area of support before potentially much lower prices, as the price of Bitcoin is now entering into oversold territories on this time frame, while Ethereum is now already breaking to the downside below this critical support, while Solana is also entering into oversold territories on this chart. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the 4-day Bitcoin chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is getting extremely close to confirming the reversal on the larger timeframes. Because in case you're new to this channel, this indicator right here is the super trend indicator, and it stayed green this entire time, the entire bull market since the beginning of 2023, and of course it was red during 2022 during the bear market. And so overall, the super trend indicator has done a pretty good job at telling us whether or not we're in a bear market or a bull market on the larger time frames. Not the short-term moves here, the short-term dumps or bearish trends in the shorter term, but the larger bullish and bearish moves. And this indicator right here will flip back into the red. It will confirm a bearish trend reversal on the larger time frames, pointing towards a bear market if we see a 4-day candle close below around 56,000. And so obviously, as of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is getting very close to that 56k level. And if we start breaking below 56k, and more importantly, see candle closes below that level, then in that case, that would confirm a trend reversal signal in this indicator on this time frame. And we also have to consider the fact that we've just put in another lower high on the larger time frames. Obviously, we had this previous lower high right here, but just recently we put in yet another lower high in the price of Bitcoin, which is bearish price structure. This is not bullish price structure. And so the only hope at this stage for the bull market to really continue is for the price to simply just hold above 56,000 and bounce very soon from this level. And potentially this could turn out to be a giant bull flag if that actually happens, if we see a bounce very, very soon and a recovery in the next few weeks. But if this pullback right here continues even just for the next few days or so below 56,000, and in 3 days from now we have that next 4-day candle close, if that's below 56,000, then once again that would point towards the end of the bull market. And now there's some people out there that think the bear market is just a place where everyone loses money, but that is not true at all, because even during a bear market, there's still plenty of opportunities. For example, you could accumulate coins at cheaper prices, or you could look for short positions to actually profit on the way down. And so just because the trend might be looking more bearish, even on the larger timeframes, if we start entering into a bit more of a bearish market, there's still plenty of opportunities basically at all time in crypto, no matter where you look. You just have to know what you're doing. And so that's the situation right now on this 4-day Bitcoin chart. But if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, as of right now, the DXY is still dumping. And like I said a couple of days ago here on the channel, really the main reason why we've seen a dump just recently here in the DXY is because of that recession warning indicator that I talked about a couple of days ago here on the channel. And so typically, usually under normal circumstances, a dump in the DXY is considered bullish for Bitcoin and crypto, as we've seen time and time again throughout Bitcoin's history. But this time around, this is not a typical example of this happening, because like I said a couple of days ago here on the channel, this is caused by a recession warning indicator that's flashing right now, a very rare signal that's flashing that usually only happens roughly once in a decade. And so due to that extremely rare bearish signal that's flashing right now, and was flashing a couple of days ago, as I said here on the channel a few days ago, this is not a typical dump in the DXY. It's caused by another factor that's very bearish, which is why we're seeing a lot of markets at the moment basically dump. And if you missed my last few videos here on the channel, definitely watch those videos, especially the video that I posted a couple of days ago talking about the recession warning. Check that video out if you want to know what I'm talking about when it comes to the recession warning and why it's so bearish for markets. But with that being said, taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, and right now, as of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is running into this critical area of support based on previous support in the price of Bitcoin, sitting in between around 56 to 57,000. And obviously over the last one day, we broke below that $60,000 support level, 60 to 61,000. And like I said in my last video, I said yesterday, expect a very quick move from 60,000 to 57,000 if we break below 60,000. I said that's going to be a quick move to the downside to the next support. And that's exactly what we have seen as expected. And so right now, once again, the support to pay attention to at the moment is 56 to 57,000. But if we break below 56,000 with confirmation, so especially if we see a candle close on the daily time frame below 56k, then in that case, expect a quick move down towards this area of support in between 51,000 to 53,000. That is coming next if we see a break below 56,000 first. And also, if we're looking at the daily Bitcoin RSI, this is getting extremely close to oversold territories, but it's not there just yet, which means we still technically have some more room to the downside here in the short term. So we could go lower before potentially seeing the next sort of bounce. At some point, we'll see some sort of bounce, whether it's here or at a lower price. And once again, we do have a little bit more room to the downside based on the RSI, but we're getting very close to oversold territories. And like I've been saying since the price broke below this area of support at around 63 to 64,000, as of right now, since then, I'm still bearish on the price of Bitcoin here in the short term for the trend and momentum. So nothing's really changed over the last few days. I'm still bearish, and obviously we're continuing to play out the bearish price action as expected. So once again, expect bearish price action, but along the way down, it is normal to see perhaps some slight bounces here and there around support. So just keep that in mind as well. Usually the price does not often move just in a straight line. We usually see some bounces and pullbacks and things like that along the way. And just before taking a look at some other important charts today, first, if you actually want to trade any of these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, personally, I take just about all of my trades over on Bybit, so I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit down below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link down below this video to make a Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here, which is a massive lucky draw happening over on Bybit right now, where you could potentially win up to $100,000 just by trading crypto using the link down below this video. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there is also Bitflex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitflex. And so I'll also make sure to leave a link to Bitflex down below this video as an alternative crypto exchange. And with that being said, taking a look at the 12-hour Bitcoin chart, and right now the 12-hour Bitcoin RSI is actually entering into oversold territories right now for the first time since roughly around 1 month ago. And so just keep this in mind, we're getting very close to some sort of bounce sometime soon because the RSI at the moment on the 12-hour time frame is entering into oversold territories, but it is important to understand we're not yet oversold on the daily time frame, and it's also important to understand even with this signal, this does not mean we're going to see a massive bullish reversal right now. Because, for example, it is possible to see an oversold signal like what we saw right here in around mid to late June. Here on the daily time frame, we saw that oversold signal, and then it is possible to see a bit of a bullish relief to reset the RSI back to the upside, which gives us more room to the downside later on. And so this oversold signal on the 12-hour time frame right now is not enough at all to confirm any bullish trend reversal here in the short term. So basically, once again, sometime soon, possibly in the next few days, in a few days from now, we could see finally a bit of a break from all of this bearish price action, whether it's at this support or at the next support. And then potentially after seeing a bit of a break from the bearish price action, once again, we could potentially continue the bearish trend lower later on once the RSI has reset a little bit in the short term. And if we're taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, as of right now, we've simply wiped out more long positions over the last 1 day. Like I said yesterday, we still have a decent amount of liquidity at around 59,000, which we have just taken out. And we still have more liquidity to the downside here. First of all, we have a decent amount of liquidity at around 56.3k. So that is a short-term price target to pay attention to. And below 56.3k, we have more liquidity at roughly around 54,000. And we still technically have that liquidity just above $70,000, but like I've already said over and over again here on the channel, even though we have liquidity at just above 70,000, that's not necessarily enough of a reason to expect a move up towards $70,000 just based on that alone, because obviously, at least as of right now, we have many other signals and charts and patterns and indicators all pointing in the bearish direction right now for the price of Bitcoin, at least in the short term, as I've already been warning about for days and days now on the channel. Once again, the short term is bearish, as I've been saying for a while. And with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the daily time frame, and we can see over the last one day, the price of ETH has had a clean break to the downside, a massive break below critical support, which was sitting in between around 2.8k to around 2950. And obviously, as we can see here, over the last few months, this has previously held as massive support for the price of ETH time and time again. So considering the fact that we've just broken below that important area on the price chart, this is an extremely bearish signal. And so if we're zooming out to the 3-day time frame, our next level of support to pay attention to on this chart, based on the Fibonacci retracement tool, from swing low at around 1,500 up to swing high on the logarithmic settings, this places the 50% retracement level acting as support at roughly around 2,500. And so right at around 2.5k, we could find our next short-term support. But if we break below 2,500, then expect a move down towards this golden pocket, sitting in between around 2.1k to 2.2k. And so basically, if 2,500 fails to hold the price of ETH, expect to move down towards the lower 2k price range. And right around that golden pocket, that should act as major support if we actually get down there, because previously that was major support in the price, and also the golden pocket is the most important Fibonacci area on the chart. And also here on the 3-day time frame, it is quite clear that as of right now, the trend has reversed. We've gone from a major bullish trend on the 3-day chart to now clearly a bearish trend, because we have multiple lower highs confirmed in the price chart and now a fresh new lower low breaking below key support, which is major bearish price structure. But once again, even when the market is crashing or trending in the bearish direction, we can still make money in crypto using things like short positions, for example. So just because the market has reversed, that does not mean there's no opportunities. And with that being said, taking a look at the price of Solana on the daily time frame, and we've just broken below this previous area of support, which should now act as new resistance, sitting in between around 140 to 144. And so right now the price is on its way down towards the next area of support in between 120 to 128. And so that's simply the next important area of support to pay attention to. And if we were to see a break below 120, then expect to move down towards around 100 to 106. And obviously, when it comes to the trend and momentum in the short term for the price of Solana, like I've already been saying basically every day since the price broke below 170, I am still bearish on the price in the short term. Expect more bearish price action, like I've been saying since all the way back up here. And if we're zooming into the 12-hour time frame, right now the price of Solana and the 12-hour RSI here are entering into oversold territories. And so the last time this happened was back in around mid to late June. And following that previous oversold signal here in the 12-hour Solana RSI was a little bit of a bullish relief in the next few days, over the next week, give or take. So that could be coming sometime soon, potentially in a couple of days from now, especially if the price starts running into this major area of support right here. But once again, just based on this signal by itself, this is not enough of a reason to flip a lot more bullish again for the trend and momentum. And so, for example, it's possible that sometime in the next couple of days, we could see a bit of a break, a bit of a relief of some sort from all of the bearish price action, but it is possible to continue that bearish trend lower later on once we reset the RSI a little bit, giving us more room to the downside later on. And obviously this previous bearish divergence right back here, which I was already warning about on the channel all the way back up here, has clearly played out very well over the last 1 week, give or take, basically pushing this RSI all the way down into oversold territories. And once again, if you want to trade these moves in order to make money even when the price is crashing, check out those links down below this video to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.